Hello friends, bienvenidos. My name is Jen, aka Jen Colo on social media, your local witchy friend and intuitive guide through the occult. As always, my lovely husband and co-host is David, aka Premier Pulls on social media.
Hi everyone, on today's episode, Jen explains love rituals.
Welcome to the show, grab a chair, make yourself at home. Jen's got stories to share, you'll never feel alone.
All right, let's get into it. It's perfect time for the episode.
Yes.
With the Valentine's around the corner, and I thought, why not talk about love rituals? We do apologize for missing last week. I felt horrible. I was like in bed.
He was sick
I
and
was
quarantined.
really sick, yeah. And we have a lot of episodes usually recorded and ready to go, but we just ran out of episodes. So I think that's the first time that's happened in a while. I think 2025 we were almost perfect, including you having surgery. So I felt a little like, dang, we even had episodes when Jen was in the hospital, but I couldn't manage coming while I was sick. So
I think it helps that we knew it was going to happen versus like you getting this weird flu. We did not know it was going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's good to be back and recording in February already. I know it's still the beginning of the year, but January I feel like just flew by.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go into love rituals. Not the first time we've covered episode on love, right?
Yeah, so episode 20 was love spells.
That's almost 100 episodes ago.
Yeah, 95 episodes ago. That's wild. I was like, how can this be a little bit different? And this will be more long-term manifestations for love, whether external or internal.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's how we're going to define it.
Yeah, we were discussing this before we started recording, but you mentioned that it just sounded so much different. Episode 20 to episode 115, we were still recording in our living room. Mm-hmm. We weren't in a video. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool just to see that we're still here. Yeah.
Yeah, continuity and progression for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, love spells, I think we could think of really quick things and then we're hoping for immediate results. Maybe you may have to do some maintenance like burning a specific candle, or even like we talked about last time, agua de calzón, like, which is when
I was gonna say, tell the people what that is.
Yeah, that is underwear water or underwear tea, which I do not condone, but it is old school, like brujeria, old school witchcraft. So yeah.
But basically, it's when a woman will boil her underwear and then feed the tea.
Or anyway, either way. Yeah.
When somebody boils their underwear water and then gives it to the person they want to fall in love with.
Yeah. So, it's like a domination spell. Yeah.
It's interesting. I think that's what pushed us to do that episode back then, was like we just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, it's just unhygienic. You can spread STDs. Like, it's not great. So please don't.
You also just shouldn't be doing that.
And you just shouldn't be doing that. If someone doesn't love you, like, move on. I'm sorry.
Let it go. Speaking of the new year, I know a few people also who do the underwear. We're talking a lot about underwear. The underwear ritual for New Year's, where they'll wear a certain underwear color, and what I think red is the one that's supposed to attract like romance, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, color magic with underwear on New Year's.
Yeah. It reminds me of that episode from SpongeBob where they're like in their underwear and then they reveal it and SpongeBob has pink and then Patrick has yellow and then Patrick's like, they were white when I bought them.
Yeah. But yeah, so these love rituals are more of a marathon compared to like a love spell, which is a little bit more of a sprint, but you have to keep sprinting.
And I'm sure we'll talk about it more, but because you kind of mentioned it, but it's, if like the person doesn't fuck with you, like just let it be, right? Mm-hmm. You have clients who've been like, well, he cheated like 5 times. Should I get back with him? I need a reading. And you're just like, I'm not going to charge it. I'm not going to give you a reading. I'm going to give you this one for free. Like, don't do it.
Yes, literally. I'll tell you for free. Yes. Leave him. I will pay you to tell you leave him now. But yes, one way that you can begin your long-term love journey, and especially self-love journey, is with rose quartz. So today I am wearing my rose quartz bracelet, which I got from Moonchild Crystal Shop. But rose quartz is really good, especially a lot for self-love. And people think like, oh, I don't need to do self-love, like I'm trying to get a partner. But it's like, that's part of obtaining a partner, is you have to love yourself first. And I know it's cheesy, and I hated hearing that when I was single. I was like, shut up, don't tell me that. But you need to hear it.
One thing I was gonna say, because you brought it up, I think when people are single, especially if they're like, they've been single for a while, it's almost like the pregnancy question. I think at a certain point, even though it's well-meaning, like when friends ask like a single person, like, oh, why are you still single? Like, it's a really complex thing to answer on the spot. So Jen and I have just a general rule. We don't really ask any prodding questions of anything personal. Like, if people want to tell us, we'll talk about it. But like, I don't know, it can be kind of fucked up to be like, wait, why are you single? Or like, oh, you're such a great person. Because I feel like that perpetuates like any doubt too, right? Because if you're like, oh, you're such a, like, people are telling you you're such a great person, you know, why am I still single? Whereas, you know, if they're on their journey, then they're just on their journey. The other one that I think would irk me a lot is, it'll come at the perfect time. I don't know why I don't like, because it's like, okay, like, I get that, but obviously, like, if somebody's single and trying to find a partner, like, I don't think that's what they want to hear, right? So, and it doesn't help anything, because it's not like you're going to tell them that and they're going to say, oh, what? No, you're right. Like, my emotions are going to go away now.
I tell folks that they have to love themselves in the process, and they can't stop living life just because they're single.
I like that. Like, don't stop your life. But, yeah.
And that's what I find with a lot of my single friends, single clients. Like, they just can't move on because they're like, I need a partner and then I can do XYZ. So I feel like rose quartz is really good for like, yes, I'm open to love, but I also want to live my life and make sure that I'm happy while I'm waiting. So that way, when I do run into them, I am like the happiest, most fulfilled version of myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a little off topic, but still on brand. When you think of a love song, what's your like go-to love song?
Oh my gosh. That is a good question that caught me off guard.
I'll let you think. So I was thinking about this as we were driving here, and I don't have like a particular love song, but the song I thought about was Pretty. Do you know who Pretty Ricky is?
That sounds so familiar. From the 90s? Like 90s R&B?
No. Like 2000s. There's, I forget the name, but it goes like, let's talk about sex, baby.
Oh,
yeah, that's Pretty Ricky.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I was like, oh, that's a perfect love song. But what's like your go-to love song?
For me, it's Todo Cambió by Camila, which is in Spanish. Yeah.
Wasn't that one of our wedding songs? I think so.
Oh my God. Okay. So we'll go through our wedding song list. So we entered with, I'm blinking.
Andrea Bocelli and Ed Sheeran.
But what is the song called?
It's one of his famous songs, but it was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know that what was it called? Pretty Rich Asians or Very Rich Asians? Stupid Rich Asians?
Oh yeah, Stupid Rich Asians.
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind.
There was a song that they played.
Yes. Yeah, no. Then never mind. I thought we entered to Ed Sheeran and Andrea Bocelli.
But no. It was like a version of that song. So yes. Obviously there's like the OG song, but then in the movie...
the song you're talking about is Can't Help But Falling in Love With You or something like that.
Yes, yeah. But from that movie that I am...
Crazy Rich Asians.
Crazy Rich Asians. Jesus, I went through like a million versions of that title. Yes, there was a version of that song for Crazy Rich Asians. Yes. And we picked the song before that, but I thought it was beautiful to hear like that rendition. Yes. And then Ed Sheeran and Andrea Bocelli had their rendition. Yeah. Anyway.
I think we had 2 entry songs then.
Yes, I had mine and you had yours.
Yes.
And then we exited to All the Small Things by Blink-182.
That was great. Yeah.
Was our dance Todo Cambió?
I think so. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's what our dance. Because you love that song.
We've been married for like 7 years, so I'm forgetting a lot of details. Also, I had not conquered my fear of contacts by then, so I was blind my whole wedding.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, Yes.
So what is your... Oh, that's your song, Todo Cambió? Mm-hmm. That's a good song.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a Spanish recommendation, but
No, you're good.
I'm Spanish. Anyway, so yes, love yourself in the process while you are waiting to find a partner. Don't let that stop you from living your life. And for that, we have a giveaway. So we have a heart-shaped rose quartz, beautifully sourced and purchased from Moonchild Crystal Shop, 2 doors down from our studio. Also in there, you have Megan, who is the owner that we interviewed on an experience exchange, and then Jamie, owner of Jamie's Reading Rainbow, that does aura readings, also within that shop, and also part of our Patreon loyalty program where you can get 10% off aura readings if you are a member.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. So this is not just any rose quartz. It's not just a rock.
It's a boulder.
Because I charged it on February 1st, which was the Leo full moon.
Charge that motherfucker up.
I did. It's fully charged, and it was the last lunation before eclipse season. So it's very, very powerful. With the energy in Leo, it is very much like self-love and being regal, being, glamorous, and all of those things while you wait for a partner. But it was also in bulk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The nice thing about this one is it can attract a partner, but you can throw it at a hater, too. So it's got defensive and offensive properties. But if you don't win the giveaway, make sure to check out Moonchild Crystal Shop and pick yours up because they have quite a few and they're really nice.
So how can you enter the giveaway? So we are going to make an Instagram post, comment on that Instagram post, and the prompt is comment one thing you love about yourself. And if you're a Patreon, you get double entry.
Yes.
Patreon of any level.
Yes, you get double entry. And if you can't think of something for which you love yourself for, reach out and talk to Genesis, and she can help you find that.
I have some cute oracle decks that'll help you identify some of your strengths. This entry is open to residents or people that have mailing address within the United States. If y'all are outside of the United States, I'm sorry. I don't want to deal with back and forth tariffs. So United States only and Instagram comments. So you'll see that post very, very soon.
And it'll go till the end of February. So you have a couple of weeks to enter.
Yeah, I don't know why, when we were making this prompt, this reminded me that when I was in high school, I did the Dove self-esteem workshop that they do for teenage girls. You've never heard of it?
I wasn't a teenage girl.
That's okay. That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, so it was interesting because they were like, name just one thing you love about yourself. And the challenge was physically, because I could have immediately been like, I'm valedictorian, whatever. But it was really hard, and I was stumped for a minute, but eventually I did muster up the ability to be like, okay, I appreciate one thing about myself, even when I was in the depths of my self-loathing. So I definitely could have used some rose quartz as a teenager.
Yeah. You look so pretty today. I want to throw that out there.
Thank you.
I have a big old crush on this one. Speaking of love.
So what do you do when you're like, okay, I've done the self-love, I'm living my life, but it would be nice to have someone with me? Well, if you want to practice some folk Catholicism, we have a saying in Spanish, San Antonio, consígueme novio, or Saint Anthony, bring me a partner.
Leave Saint Anthony alone.
Yeah, I know, poor Saint Anthony. So the folklore is that you need to turn Saint Anthony de Padua, and Padua is, I think, in Portugal, but anyway, you have to turn him upside down, and he is usually seen holding baby Jesus. So you turn him upside down and you remove baby Jesus from his arm. So we're gonna say this is like San Antonio. It would be like this. Yeah, no, it's a little. The Catholic Church does not condone this practice. This is folk Catholicism. But anyway, so you turn him upside down. You remove the baby Jesus.
Damn, you kidnapped baby Jesus?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And you're like, hey, find me a lover, and then you get baby Jesus back?
Yes.
Oh my god. That's fucked.
They do make some statues now where it's already
pre-made.
Yeah, exactly.
Pre-stolen at your local botanicas.
Yeah.
Did Zia talk about this in her episode?
Yes, I was about to say that. It sounds a lot like our experience exchange with Zia when she was talking about Stregoria or Italian folklore, where people would put statues of gods or saints either in a closet or in a drawer or something,
them, right?
And punish them and be like, you're not coming coming out until you do what I say. So this is basically the same thing. So different people do this in different ways. So some people just turn Saint Anthony over and they're like, please, Saint Anthony, I don't mean to keep baby Jesus for ransom, but like bring me a partner.
See, I don't believe in rituals, but that's just like kind of fun.
a little blasphemous even for you.
Yeah, that's a little over the edge even for me, and I feel like I'm edgy as fuck.
And there are some traditions that believe you have to bring him 13 coins. There are some more hardcore folk practices where you have to obtain 13 coins from other people. So you have to go around and ask people like, hey, will you give me a coin? Me das una moneda?
Spare some change.
Yeah, spare some change. And it's this interesting like self-hazing ritual. I wonder if some of that came from like, then you won't be afraid to go up to people and strike a conversation.
I was going to say, that's such a great exercise in meeting people though, right? Because you can go up to, you know, if I was doing this, I'd probably do it with like strangers. That way it pushes you out of your comfort zone or whatever.
Yeah, so, you know, this is a very interesting folk practice that I'm like, it's like self-conditioning and I can get behind that. Like, it's very interesting. And then, of course, once you do get your partner, you flip Saint Anthony right side up, reunite him with baby Jesus, and you're like, thank you.
Yeah, that's fucked. You know what? I also want to talk about something because we've heard colloquially through our friends and our acquaintances that the dating game is rough right now. And I think we should acknowledge that.
Yes.
I think this is probably why it's such like a hot topic also, just because I've heard through a lot of people who are single that dating is not it right now. And when we were starting dating, I don't know, I didn't find it hard. Like, did you?
Yeah, it wasn't. So we met in 2015, and the reason why politics wasn't as divisive, AI was not a thing. Like, I could easily tell who was who by the way that they wrote. Like, there would be some people that I was...
Oh, we met on Tinder.
Yeah. Yes. But I could tell who was who by the way that they wrote if they didn't have, like, I don't know, if they couldn't formulate a single interesting fucking thought. Yeah. But now there are apps out there that will use AI to respond to your matches and basically like give them what they want. So not only may you catfish with like an AI ultra filtered picture, which back then if people filtered the shit out of their profile pictures, it was very obvious. Now it's less obvious. So there's that, but you're also catfishing them like internally, like with the contents of like your writing, and they expect you to be one person and then you're not. So yeah, it's all very fucked.
I think that's a symptom of like a larger problem. AI is very new in the grand scheme of things, as well as having everything on the internet. And again, I think that's a symptom of the bigger issue. I'd be really interested to understand like what the bigger issue is, whether it's people not being able to like socialize as much, or you do get a lot of fulfillment from, I guess, essentially your smartphone. And I want to be careful because I feel like sometimes I do sound like an old head being like, it's all the phone's fault. But I don't know. I think there needs to be a balance, because when you and I met, like the internet and phones and apps were totally a thing. It's not like that wasn't readily available, right? So I do think it's a little bit of a cop-out to say, it's like the phone or it's like the dating apps, because they've been around for a while. The dating apps itself, like maybe not the apps, but like dating websites have been around since like AOL. So it's not a new concept. People have met. And I mean, like, I feel like you and I are maybe the first generation for that to be like more socially acceptable, like you're meeting online. But we weren't the first like people to do it. So all that to say that I think there's more to it. There's like a symptom to, I guess, is it a loneliness epidemic?
Yeah, I think so. But even in ye olden times, people would put ads in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Like trying to find love through the means of media has been a thing for a long time.
Yeah, it's like the polarization, I guess. And
I think that's more what it is. Yeah. Like, back then when I was dating, I was still very much like, and you were too, like, you have to align with certain political values, but a lot of people were very, like, moderate, or I don't care about politics.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too.
That's
But I also feel like people find their tribe, you know, and even within that, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of situations where maybe love is not like the fulfillment people are looking for anymore.
Yeah, I think that like some people are looking for love, and then there are other people that are looking for different types of fulfillment, whether it's like, I don't know. I don't want to say like sex addiction, but maybe they just prioritize sex, and it's like, I don't know. There's just a big mismatch now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that is another one with St. Anthony. If y'all try it, let me know if it works. We would love to hear back. But yeah, that 13 coin ritual is a very interesting way to like condition yourself and like self-haze. So another way is through glamour magic. So glamour magic is not just like a one and done. I guess if you only want it for one day, but with glamour magic, like you have to take it on and off because you're not gonna sleep and wear the same makeup. So really this is pouring into you and choosing to believe that you are or can be beautiful with effort, which is really funny because one of my clients that I saw yesterday, we did an advanced astrology technique called secondary progressions, and or was it solar arcs, either one of those. But long story short, yeah, glamour magic came up in their chart, and it's like, oh, this is a good time to do glamour magic and invest in yourself. But glamour magic doesn't mean like I have to be copy paste of all the how the women look on Love Island. Like this is just choosing to be like the 10 out of 10 version of you. So with my client, I was like, I know you're not a big makeup person, so like glamour magic wouldn't work that way, but what makes you feel beautiful? And they said having my hair dyed and having my nails done, even if it's like a natural color, but making sure that they're like uniform. And it's like, okay, that is your glamour magic. Like when you dye your hair, you know, you can put an affirmation like, I don't know, I'm choosing to wear my crown, my authentic crown, or like, I don't know, when you do your nails, like I manifest magic with my hands. I don't know, something like that. But
the hair, that's really interesting because I think there's a good parallel to biology and science because in the animal kingdom, you know, we call it peacocking essentially, but it comes from, you know, the male peacock showing their plumage, and a lot of animals will do actually very risky behaviors in order to entice a mate because bright colors attract attention. So doing that puts you in danger, but it's worth it for the outcome of finding a partner. So in a weird way, I think that is a little derivative of like what happens in actual nature with animals, you know, having bright colors or doing mating dances or ritual calls, things of that nature, right? Good parallel.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think also just as someone that has been like in really, really deep depression and you don't want to do like anything, glamour magic is such a good way to ritualize self-care. And luckily it's one of those things where it's like, it's not just one and done. Like every day you can choose to opt in or opt out of glamour magic. But if you make that pledge, like I want to take glamour magic seriously, even if it's like one thing, like you're going to enchant your lip gloss, like, yeah, I love that. Especially like now I work in the mental health field or like an adjacent field, like nonprofit social work. And when people are like very depressed, even when people are in like a 5150 hold, one of the things that they will strongly stress is like while you're in there, you need to have a routine. And at least like the programs that my clients have told me about when they have been 5150'd, they have like 30 minutes in the day of like, even if you're brushing your teeth or combing your hair the whole time, like you need to have 30 minutes of like taking care of yourself. So glamour magic is just like a nice sort of magical way into that. And if you wanted to work with like archetype of a different deity like Aphrodite, goddess of beauty, Hera, which is like the home, maternal, like if you're trying to be in like a married, like a traditional married union, like attracting somebody like that. Yeah, there's so many ways that you could go about it.
Yeah, and routine is super important. Kind of going back to the beginning of the episode, I was sick, and I Genesis gets like really fucked up if she gets sick, so I quarantined in the guest bedroom, And I was there like a week, and towards the end I was feeling worse, I think, just mentally and physically, because I lost my routine, right? I was like waking up at weird times of the day. I was sleeping through weird times of the day, recovering, not getting up. And yeah, it's like really important to maintain that routine. We're creatures of habit, and I think that's part of like our internal biology. So making sure we keep that up to date is super, super important. So I'm really excited to hear about more rituals after this break.
Today's episode is brought to you by us, Kythera Collective. If you've been vibing with the energy of the show, then you're going to love the Kythera Club over on Patreon. It's a space that I built for the cosmic, the curious, and the slightly chaotic. You know who you are. With 3 delicious tiers to choose from, we start with the chocolate level at $4 a month, which gains you access to weekly horoscopes and the exclusive Unhinged podcast, where I say things that don't make it to this main feed. It's sweet, it's spicy, and it's just for you. Next, we have the cafe level at $7 a month. This is where things really start to get cooking. You'll receive access to exclusive workshops, monthly virtual hangouts, and a private Discord community where you can chat directly with me and receive exclusive behind the scenes updates. It's magical, cozy, and a little unhinged in the best way. Finally, we have the tequila level. This is the VIP lounge. At $25 a month, you'll receive everything from the previous tiers, plus a personal 15-minute one-on-one session with myself or David each month, and discounts if you want to extend the session. It's a whole vibe and a powerful way to receive personalized guidance. So if you've been laughing along with us, crying or rage screaming in agreement, come hang out with us at the Kythera Club. Head over to patreon.com/JenCalo and choose your tier. If you want to sponsor an episode and advertise with us, go to our website, www.jencalo.com. All right, now back to the show. Welcome back. So the next ritual that we will get into are spiritual baths. Even if you only take one a month, it's still a very long and intentional process. So, yeah, it takes time to prep everything. And especially if you're going to add like certain bath salts, certain herbs, like you have to really think about like, what am I trying to manifest?
Making love pozole.
Love pozole, yes. What am I trying to manifest with this spiritual bath? What herbs do I need? Now I need to go get the specific like bath salts, herbs, maybe candles if you want to have candles around with specific like color magic things. If you want to plan it like on a specific day, whether it's like, I don't know, something with Libra or Taurus or like a full moon or something. There's a lot of planning and intentionality that goes into it. And it's like a different type of sort of like investing in yourself, similarly to how we were talking about glamour magic with maybe like makeup, grooming, and fashion choices. So some of the herbs and just flowers that I recommend are roses, like for sure.
Like the rose petals?
Yeah, rose petals or full roses, whatever you want to do. Citrus peels, because they're very good for abundance, and then also just being very like matronly, especially if you're a woman that wants to get married. Rosemary for protection from against a wrong partner. Damiana for sensuality. Lavender for a peaceful union. Same thing with chamomile, also for a peaceful union. And then sage just to up your intuition and also protection.
What's Damiana?
Damiana is an herb that you can either drink as a tea, which I actually have some, or you could put in a bath. But yeah, it's a type of herb. Okay. Yeah, and it's supposed to be like really good for your reproductive system, like if you're trying to conceive, but also spiritually, it's good for like love and attraction and sensuality.
To help you reach pinnacle.
Okay, so yes, we are watching Bridgerton, and that is a Bridgerton reference. If you haven't seen the latest season or like the first 4 episodes, it is in there. And we'll talk about Bridgerton in a little bit, because okay. I definitely want to tie back some things because it's on my mind. I
do want to say something about the bath. Yeah. One, calling you out a little bit, you haven't taken a bath in forever. You shower. She's stanky, people. I know she looks all done up, but no, I'm just kidding. You always smell delicious, and you're very clean. You're like a cat. You do a lot of self-grooming. No, if anything, sometimes I'm the stinky one. But you have not taken a bath in a while.
Yeah.
And we have a soaking tub in our house.
Yeah.
And when we bought a home, that was like one of our pipe dreams of like, it wasn't like a deal breaker, but we really wanted a soaking tub. And we've been really bad about using it. So we got to get better about that. Mm-hmm. And then two, I want to make this accessible for everyone. What about people who don't have a bath?
Yeah, and this is what I'm doing because I don't want to use the bath is, yes, spiritual shower. So definitely, like, speaking positive affirmations while you're doing certain things. Like, I'm so thankful for my hair, on good hair days, or, I believe in my ability to manifest while you're washing your hands. Like, you can say
Is that why you take forever in the shower?
No, it's just that women need more care than men. Y'all use an 18-in-1 and just dump it on yourself, and you're like, good enough.
Listen, I've been better.
Yes, you have. No, I have like a double cleansing routine and then an exfoliation routine. It's like a whole thing. But anyway, yes. So if you don't have a bath, you do the same thing with a shower. Like, even if you buy rose scented stuff or lavender scented stuff, like, you can also be intentional with your products and kind of do like bath glamour magic that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then the final one, which is probably really simple, you don't need anything, but is one of the harder ones to do, and it is a long-term commitment, is watching the way you speak about yourself and your situation, because words are powerful.
And your situationship?
And your situationship, yeah. So I have had to practice this one for a long time, and I am getting way better. But I remember I was speaking to a spiritual practitioner, and I was like joking with them, and I said, I'm so broke. And they were like, do not say that. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I am. And they're like, you're further concreting yourself to that reality. And I was like, but I'm saying it in a joking manner. And like, I'm not really broke. I'm not like, I declare bankruptcy broke. And they were like, no, it doesn't matter. You are tying yourself to these words. And the reason why that's your go-to to explain like your situation. Like, if a friend invited me out and it's like, I'm so broke until payday, like after payday hit me up or something, like I would use that word a lot. And I really thought about it and I was like, oh, you're right. And so then they're like, you could say something like, I can't afford that yet, or the abundance is coming, but it is not here at this time. Like, just being very careful with the words that you choose because they subconsciously reflect what you believe about yourself. And so with love, a lot of people are like, yep, I'm gonna be single forever, or I'm gonna be that like spinster auntie. Like, I don't know. I just find people using a lot of like self-deprecating humor, and it's like just being very intentional with like instead choosing to be like, if you go to a family function and your family's like, ¿y el novio? And the boyfriend, he'd be like, I don't know. He hasn't found me yet. He's taking a long time, but I'm here and I'm ready. Like, I don't know. And you don't even have to answer like that to your relatives, even if it's like friends or...
No, clap back. Make it awkward. Fuck yeah. No. No. I embrace the chaos. We don't ask... We're very good about like not asking those probing questions. It's like people just need to live their life and... It's none of our business. But. Did you ever get hit with the, where's the boyfriend or where's the husband?
No.
No, because okay, go ahead.
No, because I was always seeing somebody. I was a serial monogamous.
But, I mean, from your elders, they didn't know that.
No, they did.
Oh. And you say that, but, I mean, we met when you were 20, so, like...
I think my mom would be like, now she's seeing this person, now she's seeing that person. My mom and dad did not want me dating, so I think they like were happy that people were not asking me that question.
Yeah, okay. Now that makes sense. And what about for me? No, I never got asked that question.
But your family's very progressive.
Yeah.
They're built different.
I guess that's true. Yeah. Yeah, no, I was never asked that question. And when I introduced you to my family, I was 25, so... I don't know. Maybe I was still young enough where I don't mean love has no age. I don't want to say like if you haven't by this age, but I think like for me personally, I still was making like a lot of like big career moves and stuff. So I think it was clear that maybe that wasn't on my priority list, but I mean, it was. I was really happy when I found you, and I was definitely ready to settle down when we met. I wasn't really playing around too much, so yeah.
Yeah, so just being careful with the words that you choose to describe yourself in your situation, because the words that you use very often are like a subconscious reflection of what's going on inside. Funny enough, this is like not a love example, but more of a mundane example. I had to make a partner brand video for like this mousse that I received, and they were like, we want you to post on TikTok and show yourself using it. And as I was editing the video, because I just like filmed it and like talked about it, I said, I'm not a hairstylist 3 times. And even to myself, I'm like, girl, we get the point. You're not a hairstylist. You're an average person. That's why they wanted to partner with you. Yeah. But I was like, wow, my insecurities are really coming through because I'm saying that so much. I just posted it on TikTok because I'm doing the least. They were like, post on TikTok. I'm like, okay, don't have to post on Instagram. Great. That will not go on my Instagram. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of the times the most commonly used words in your vocabulary will have something to say about what you think about yourself.
Yeah. On a similar note, I thought this was really cute. It might be problematic, but I'll let the people decide. I had a psych teacher when I was in my undergrad who had a long-term partner. Like it was her husband for many years, but they referred to each other as like boyfriend and girlfriend even after so many years, because they're like, yeah, it like keeps it like young and like the spark's still there, and it makes it like fun. And I was like, I always thought that was like a cute, interesting mindset. And I think I've mentioned this to you before, and you're like, I don't know about that. But yeah, just like to your point that the words do carry like weight and carry intention. They had that for themselves because they wanted to keep that like youthful energy and say like, oh, that's my girlfriend or that's my boyfriend. And it was kind of funny because everybody knew they'd been together for decades and they were like older. So, you know, anytime they met somebody new, they'd introduce their partner as like their boyfriend or their girlfriend.
How do you feel about that now that you're a married person? Would you do that?
I think it's cute. I think it's funny. I don't know if I would like go deep into it and introduce you as like my girlfriend to anybody, but I do think it's like cute, especially if it works for them. You know? Yeah,
I guess like it's a cute idea, but
I also don't know if they did it forever. Maybe in our older age that might be like something cute and funny, right?
Yeah. So yeah, but I feel like I don't know. Like wife or like married partner is like a different connotation.
Well, you called me your mistress 2 nights ago, so
okay, this is another Bridgerton reference. So okay, I will finally tie back to the Bridgerton thing I want to talk about. So I've been having a lot of older female clients that are a little bit sad that they don't have a partner. And by older, I mean 30s and 40s that are like, oh, I didn't get married with like everybody else. But it's like 50% of everyone else will have a divorce soon. But anyway.
You just talked about words and their meaning and their weight. Don't throw that into the universe. Like, we can't have an episode where we're promoting love and then you just finished the segment.
Yeah. You see, I'm a work in progress. Anyway.
Take it back.
Yes, I do. So, so I tell them, like, this is the double-edged sword of our generation, because before, women had to be married to survive, and even, like, married to someone that they don't like for survival in more, like, old school patriarch societies. So the fact that you're single at 30, at 40, at 50 is a beautiful reflection that you don't need anybody to survive, that you can survive on your own. And you might be the first woman in your lineage to do this. And they're like, I've never thought about it that way, but that's so true. Tying it back to Bridgerton. In Bridgerton, they are trying so hard to get married because it is about survival. And like so many of them are going after like the rich boy, or they're like, I'll take anybody at this point. Like last season, Penelope was like, I just have to get married at some point, even if I don't like them. So whether you're, you know, a man or a woman, whatever, but especially to my ladies out there, if you're single at an older age, I don't know, think of the other side of that coin, that it's like, wow, I might be the first woman in my line to like be thriving without a man.
Yeah. No, it's about how you look at things and how you frame them within your life. And a lot of the women that you know, because I know who they are too, like, they're very strong, powerful women. And yeah, I mean, I think this whole episode, like, it is about like love and romance, but it really is about like loving yourself and letting your own light shine as well. Like, I think that's, if you take anything out of this episode, it's not like you need to find a partner. It's like the self-love, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So ultimately, it's choosing yourself in the long term, whether it's glamour magic, choosing how you speak about yourself.
Like Dennis Rodman. He married himself.
Yeah.
In a wedding dress and everything.
I think that man has like strong Aquarius placements. I don't remember. I'll have to check, but he's very
We're in Aquarius season right now, right?
Yeah, we are. Very unique individual. But anyway, yes. So ultimately, choose yourself while you are looking for a partner. Yeah. And enter the giveaway and get this rose quartz, which can help with that. Yes. All right. So we did get a few comments about previous episodes. So in the Discord, Tasha talked about Meg's experience exchange, which is super interesting. And again, shout out to Megan for sourcing this beautiful rose quartz. And you can get your own at Moonchild if you don't win the giveaway or if you want it sooner. But she asked, what is the difference between heat treated and non-heat treated crystals? Also, great episode. So yeah, when Meg brought up heat treated crystals, think of that about like the equivalent of man-made. So if you're a purist where you're like, I want this straight out of the earth in this way, like nature made it, that's the difference between like heat treated and non-heat treated, because something could start as a certain type of crystal and then if you heat treat it, it becomes another crystal. Like I think if you heat treat amethyst, it could become citrine, something like that. But then there's also citrine that like comes out of the ground that was probably started as an amethyst, heated by nature and became a citrine. So it just depends on personal preference. But this isn't to put down heat treated crystals, because there are some crystals that wouldn't exist without heat treating. It's more like if you're gonna sell something that is heat treated by man, you need to label it as such. So
I do want to throw something on a moral level, because it's something I strongly believe in, and I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up. Wanting something from nature is great, but I want to talk specifically about diamonds. And speaking of like love, please buy lab-grown diamonds.
Yes.
Please do not buy mined diamonds. I need to throw that out there.
yeah, I mean, the diamond industry has historically used, to be frank, slaves and human trafficking to mine those diamonds. Yeah. And honestly, like, nobody can tell if it's a lab-grown diamond.
And even if they could I don't know, I'm so like, even if they could tell, and even if it was shitty, it doesn't matter. Like, you could have a piece of glass on your ring. Like, it's, yes, please, if you're getting a diamond, buy either cubic zirconia or lab grown.
Yes. And also, similarly enough, like, there are a lot of questions about the crystal trade now that more people are interested in like gems and crystals, and like gems like rubies and sapphires and stuff. Like, a lot of it did use a lot of slave labor, a lot of exploitative practices, but now that we're getting into like a variety of other things like aventurine, rose quartz, amethyst,
opal. Opal's beautiful.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff, like, you also have to be careful where it comes from and where people purchase it. Like lapis lazuli, which is a blue stone, a lot of that comes from Afghanistan. And not to like just name drop a country, but a lot of it does come from Afghanistan, and a lot of it does use exploitation. So if you do buy lapis, either like buy it secondhand or
ethically sourced.
Yeah, or as ethically sourced as you can, or ask the person, like your crystal wholesaler, like, I'm not trying to find out about your wholesaler, but what are your ethical practices? And I have had those conversations with Megan and Jamie, and they do have a very ethical like wholesale dealer, so I do feel good buying my crystals from them. But also, they're in so many like antique malls and like thrift stores. Like, people get rid of their crystals all the time.
Yeah.
And there was this Australian woman that started like a secondhand thrift crystal business. So it's like we don't have to keep mining. Like there are people that will maybe like get gifted too many and then they're selling like their extra or something. So yeah, just be careful with your just like anything, try to be an ethical consumer as much as you can.
Yeah. All right. We have another comment from Lauren Dooley on Instagram about the Rasputin episode. Oh my God. I went to an immersive theater show called Death of Rasputin over the summer. Hopefully the next time you two are in New York City, it's still around. Yeah, I loved that episode so much, and I'm glad we're talking about it. First off, we went home and watched Anastasia right away. Great movie. I used to love that movie when I was growing up, and it was really good seeing it again, and I never pieced together that was Rasputin. What was really cool is everything we had talked on the episode, they talk about it in Anastasia.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of a post-recording conversation with that episode. You kind of were a little down on yourself because you had some self-doubt, talking about like self-doubt. You said, I don't know if I just didn't portray it right, because I was very like, I don't think he was the bad guy in the story. And you were like, no, he's like a bad person. He's known as being the bad guy. And you kind of went on yourself of like, you felt like you didn't do your job correctly. And I was like, no, I think you did your job really well, because you gave the facts. And based on the facts, I came up with a consensus of like what I thought about the person.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. At this point, the episode's out there. So
I loved it. It was like honestly one of my favorite episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, people can decide what they want about him. Maybe he was this healer and he did see the prophecy, like as soon as you kill me, the monarchy is gonna be overthrown and like it will be no more. Maybe he did and people just didn't like that. Yeah. I don't know.
If you haven't listened to the episode, it's a really good episode.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And then also we are talking about doing another workshop with Luna sometime in March. We don't have the full details solidified, but follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky at Giancarlo, or on Facebook as Kythera Collective LLC. And you'll find the information there once it's posted.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Make sure to practice that self-love and, have a good February.
Remember, the magic within you makes the world a more beautiful place. Blessed be, and signing off. Bye.